Hello students, I am Assistant Professor Yasvi Shezare from Agricultural Engineering Department, and this is lecture number 5 of GE 206, and in this session we will cover remaining part of the lecture number 5. Okay. Now the next building material, that is mortar, and mortar for the building construction usually consists of mixture of cement, sand and water, or lime, sand and water. Okay, then it is when there is a mixture of lime, sand and water, then it is called as lime mortar, and when the mixture like cement, sand and water, then it is called as cement mortar. Okay, then the cement or lime provides the strength and durability, and sand makes the mortar more easier to handle. Okay, and also it improves the adherence to the bricks. Only clean and well graded sand should be selected for making the mortar. Okay, and a common ratio of cement to sand in mortar, that is about 1:3, and for lime and sand a good mix is considered to have to ratio about 1:2. Okay, and sometimes cement, lime and sand are mixed in proportion of 1:6 to be used as a mortar on interior wall. Okay, now what is the purpose to use the mortar for construction? To form several units in one stable unit. Then another use of the mortar is that to fill the space between the stones, bricks, and to make the construction wind and waterproof. Then to distribute the vertical load of the masonry evenly throughout the mass. And last one is that used as a plaster on the wall as well as to protect it from the rain. Okay, now the next now the next material is the bricks, and bricks are made from the clay, which when moistened become plastic, so that it can be easily molded into the desired shape and size. Okay, after being dried in the sun, bricks are baked in the kiln or furnace for a long time, and the average composition of the brick earth is which consists of 69% of silica, 29% of sand and iron, and 1 to 2% of lime and other materials. Okay, and the common size of the brick made in India, that is about 20 by 20 by 10 centimeter, and the weight of the brick, that is about 4 kg, and the tensile strength varies between the 19.7 to 21.0 kg per centimeter square. Okay, whereas the crushing strength ranges between the 56.2 to 70.3 kg per centimeter square. Okay, now according to the quality, bricks are classified into 5 classes, and first class bricks, which are sound, hard, well burnt, and have retained the proper shape and size after the burning, and they have a deep red color. Okay, and second class bricks are hard, well burnt, then which are distorted slightly or scratched on the surface, and they cannot withstand continued exposure to the action of they cannot withstand continued exposure to the action of water. Okay, and third class bricks are bricks which are comparatively less hard, not fully burnt, and they have been overburnt, so it is also called as overburnt brick, and they should not be used on walls exposed to the rain. Then number 4, that is overburnt bricks. Those bricks which have been overburnt are called as overburnt bricks. They are irregular in shape and size, blue colored, hard and brittle, and they are preferred for the building of foundations, concrete making, and road metalling. Okay, and last type is that sun dried bricks, and these bricks are not burned but only sun dried, and they are used in a wall construction also. Here in third class bricks, bricks are comparatively less hard and not fully burnt. Okay, but those are not overburnt. Okay, and there is a separate class for the overburnt bricks. Okay, now the next material, that is surki. What is meant by surki? Surki is the ground brick dust or pulverized burnt clay, which is sometimes used as a substitute for a sand in places where sand is scarce. Okay, and surki can be best made up of bricks, and generally surki is not mixed with cement. Okay, and it give very good result when that mixed with lime. Okay, then next building material, that is timber. Okay, and the wood, what is meant by timber? The wood usually used as a component of engineering works like beams, pillars, rafters, purlines, door frames, etc. Those are considered as a timber. Okay, and the best quality timber obtained from the trunk of the tree. Okay, and first class timber is mostly used for the luxury houses or high quality furnitures. Okay, now there is a seasoning is required in case of timber before using for the construction. And what is the basic objective of the seasoning? To get the rid of all the surplus sap and moisture, so that wood will not decay. Okay, now there are three types of seasoning method. First one is that water seasoning. Generally, what is the procedure in this case? Generally, the logs cut from the trees are stored in ponds and water, which is filled with water, and this process prevents the log from being attacked by the wood borer. Okay, as well as from cracking. Okay, then second method is that air seasoning. In this process, timber is let to dry in open air under the shade. Okay, and last type of seasoning, that is kiln seasoning. In this process, sliced timber in the form of planks, then scantlings and beams, is placed in a masonry chamber, which is heated by means of steam or hot gas. Okay, now let's know about slump test. And slump test is used for to measure the plasticity of the concrete. Okay, now in this slump test, a slump cone is used, that is made up of metal sheet. Okay, and this is 30 centimeter high, having the diameters 20 centimeter at base and 10 centimeter at top. Okay, and the cone is placed on a level surface and filled with concrete and settle about 12.5 centimeter below the 30 centimeter height, and it can be used for plain or reinforced concrete work. And if the slumps more than 12.5 centimeter, then it should be rejected. Okay, after settling down of the concrete. It is generally believed that the strongest concrete is one in which the pore space between the coarse aggregates is just filled with the fine aggregates, and pore space between the fine aggregates is just filled with cementing material for a particular condition. Okay, and the following formula developed by the scientist Fuller is used for estimating the quantities of aggregates required for a mix of 0.76 cubic meter or 1 cubic yard, that is C is equal to 42 divided by C plus S plus R. Okay, and where the C is the quantity of cement in cubic feet, and small c, S and R represent the respectively the proportion of cement, sand and gravel. Now let's see the one of the examples which is based on the calculation of cement, sand and gravel from the given quantity of concrete. Okay, so let's see the example. Calculate the quantities of cement, sand and gravel required to prepare 81 cubic feet of concrete having 1:3:4 as the proportion of aggregates. Okay, So this proportion is for cement, sand and gravel. Okay, so here one that is stand for cement, proportion for the cement, then 3 stand for sand, proportion for the sand, and 4 which shows the proportion quantity or proportion of aggregate, that is gravel. Okay, so these 4 quantities for the proportion of the gravel. Okay, now let's see the what is the given data here. Here the total quantity of the concrete, that is about 81 cubic feet. Okay, and they given here the proportion of the aggregates like cement, sand and gravel. Okay, and we have to calculate here the quantities for the cement, sand and gravel, and we know that the formula which is given by the scientist Fuller, the quantity of the cement C is equal to 42 divided by 42 divided by C plus S plus R. Okay, this is the formula. Now as we know that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. Okay, now we should know about the total quantity of concrete required, that is already given, that is 81 cubic feet, but this formula is applicable for the 1 cubic yard. Okay, and the data is given in cubic feet. Okay, so as we know that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. Okay, so 1 cubic feet is equal to cube of 3 is equal to 27 cubic yards, cubic feet. So 1 cubic yard is equal to 27 cubic feet. Okay, now how many, it means that we have to convert here 81 cubic feet into the yards. Okay, we know that 1 cubic yard is equal to 27 cubic feet. Okay, so 81 divided by 27 is here is equal to 3 cubic yards. Okay, so 81 cubic feet means 3 cubic yards. Okay, now as we know that the formula, now we will put the all the values in this formula. 42 as it is, then C plus R plus R, C plus R C plus S plus R, that is the that stand for the proportion of the aggregates for cement, sand and gravel. Okay, so already the proportion is given here. So 1 for the C, then plus S plus R, then this 3 for the this sand, and quantity 4 that is for the gravel. Okay, so by putting all the values we will get the final answer is here, that is 5.25 cubic feet quantity of cement that is present in the concrete. Okay, but we have to calculate in this example total quantities of cement, sand and gravel separately. Okay, this quantity of the cement, that is cubic in feet, and that cement per cubic yard of the concrete. Okay, so for 1 cubic yard the total cement that present in that concrete, that is 5.25 cubic feet, but here 3 cubic yards. Okay, so the total quantity of cement required for the 3 cubic yard, that will be 5.25 into 3, so the answer will be 15.75 cubic feet quantity of cement that present in 3 cubic yard of the total concrete. Okay, then next, quantity of sand required. Okay, quantity of sand required, here there is the proportion of aggregates are given, right? So when the, suppose for example, if there is 1 kg or suppose 1 unit of the cement is given here, then total quantity of sand, that will be 3 times of the cement. Okay, and 4, that is that is the proportion for the R means gravel, it means that 4 times more than the cement. Okay, so here the quantity of sand required is that total quantity of cement into 3 times of the total quantity of cement. So the answer will be 47.25 cubic feet. Same for the quantity of gravel, the proportion is given 4. It means 4 times of cement gravel is required for the preparation of 81 cubic feet of the concrete. So here this quantity is taken here, so the answer will be 63 cubic feet. Okay, now this session is completed here, so thank you for listening.